It's the golden moment right there. What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 272 of Opinions May Vary. I'm your host, JR, my co-host, Alex.
Hello.
Joining us this week for the first time since February, and sadly, maybe one of the last times in person for the foreseeable future. Is that a known thing yet? Am I allowed to say?
Exclusive content.
Did I just blow the spot?
No. It's known.
Our friend John is back.
Hey, I'm on your podcast.
You are. John's making adult decisions soon and is going out west, which has me both sad and also jealous. But we're making the best of it right now.
Making the best of it.
And last time John was on, in our limited articulation, is that what it's called?
Did people love that one?
I think they did. I think
right.
Everyone loved it,
Yeah.
and listenership skyrocketed.
They smashed those subscribe buttons.
Yeah, they murdered the subscribe button.
It's just like a cracked piece off of their screen. They just mashed it so hard.
Yeah, they just destroyed it.
Oh, that's great.
We talked about collectibles, toys, and John, you're a big advocate or a big fan of the collectible figure.
I have a curated collection.
The thing is, I only see your collection in limited views, I guess.
Digital format.
Yeah.
His Instagram.
John will post a humble image every now and then of maybe one or two, possibly up to a handful of figures.
Mm-hmm.
Rarely ever the same figure. But when you only see them one at a time, two at a time, it's like, oh yeah, he's got a nice little collection going. And then he showed up with us today. He brought some, and they just kept coming out of the bag. It was like you had a Mary Poppins Trader Joe's bag.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
Full, topical.
Yeah.
Full of figures, both large and small, from across all fandoms
And time periods.
and some were recent,
Across the multiverse.
some were collections.
They could be. You know what's weird? If
What?
something's over 10 years old, you can call it vintage. That's kind of strange. That's
It's like how you can
weird.
get an early American license plate for your 1992 Honda,
Yeah, dude, it's not a collectible car, dude.
and it's not American.
It's a Ford Taurus. When I was a kid, when I was 15, I was my aunt was feeling super generous, and she was like, "Well, what do you want for your birthday? I'm gonna get you something." It's there's these new things called Marvel Legends, and it's there's the first ones were Iron Man, Cap, Thor, Hulk, and then the villain was Toad. And then it was fuck Toad. I don't want Toad. He can go rot in the swamp, whatever. I want those four guys, the main Avengers. And she got them for me. And it was great because they came with comic books in them, and that was great. But you should definitely look up that Thor, because I can't believe they had never been sued, because his face looks just like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Really?
It's insane. I wish I still had it, but I donated them all, those four figures, to my friend I used to work with at a theme park, to give her to her kid. And she loved the Hulk the most, and she loved his angry face that she would always say, his mad face is great, Mom. So I don't feel that bad about it, but those figures were pretty great. But his face is they just digitally copied before they even had that technology, Arnold's face. It's spot on. So that was interesting. But anyway, that was tangent.
That's it.
So yeah, it's weird that something like that could be vintage at this point, quote unquote.
I guess yeah. At least something from the 80s should be vintage.
Yes, very much so, He-Man or Star Wars or something.
But there's not.
Wouldn't you say vintage would be more like the giant G.I. Joes? If we're going vintage.
Yeah, the 60s and 70s.
I guess it's a different kind of vintage.
Yeah, that's super vintage.
Toys can't really be antiques.
Is there a bronze and gold age of toys?
You know what's interesting, and it's hilarious. Mattel, before they did He-Man, their main boy toy, toys for boys, was a 12-inch competitor with G.I. Joe, before they went tiny and Snake Eyes and stuff like that. It was just I'm a realistic army guy. Their adventure hero was named Big Jim. That's not even a joke.
Yeah.
That's not a joke. That's real. And so Big Jim would be like this guy who like he was buff and like his arms would actually flex if like they would like the biceps would flex. And he'd go on different adventures and like he'd have like his buddy Big Kevin or like whatever. His live-in buddy.
Average Kevin.
But like he would go on adventures and like there was this connects to He-Man in a way because like there was like a safari set with like some animals and one of them was a tiger and so when they were making He-Man they're like, well, He-Man's gotta ride something like and like
Like a horse.
like no a horse is boring. Like horses are stupid. Horses are for princesses and girl shit. We need something more fantastical, manly. Like there's like a coil of power between his legs as he rides into battle. So they repainted the tiger and gave him a saddle and armor, and that became Battle Cat, the green striped tiger, and or Panther, Skeletor's evil furry panther, purple panther. Anyway,
So-
what were we talking about?
Hang on. I want to dwell on that for just a
I
second.
want to talk about Big Jim some more.
Big Jim.
All right. So a while ago, we had on Rob Bricken.
Mm-hmm.
He is currently the editor for the website IO9.
Such a fun website. I love it.
Before that, he was like the founder, and he ran Topless Robot.
Yes.
And he did a lot of like reporting before that.
Mhm.
He's a big action figure fan,
Mm-hmm.
big toy collector, loves He-Man, Maddie collector, all that stuff. And we had him on the show. He Skyped in. We're chatting. I bring up He-Man. I bring up Conan, and I tell the Conan story.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "That's actually not true." Which it's something that I read on the internet,
Yeah.
but I absolutely trust his knowledge and experience.
Oh yeah.
above
Oh, yeah,
mine.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so the whole story of like He-Man being a Conan repaint was false.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, okay.
I wish I had looked up the names of like the creators of He-Man, because it was like I think they were offered the Star Wars license and they passed on it, and then Kenner got it, and they like will forever like kick themselves because it was Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and then history happened with all those collectibles and like Star Wars the toilet paper, Star Wars the sleeping bag, Star
Wars cereal.
Spaceballs, the deodorant, like or whatever. Like they like licensed it out the wazoo. So they wanted a competing like cool
Franchise.
thing. So like I think one of the toy designers just like took a Big Jim or like some other like toy and just like put 5 pounds of clay on it and just like sculpted this gigantically
Huge
muscular
torso.
like this incredible figure. But I think I might be repeating myself from last episode.
Oh, but if my Conan story
Mm-hmm.
was false,
Yeah.
I'm not questioning your knowledge.
Mhm.
But how do we know that the Battle Cat repaint is a legit thing?
Oh, okay. Because you can look up what that tiger looked like and what Battle Cat looks like, and it's the exact same toy.
Okay.
And it's just a different color. Because they just changed the color, and he looks. It's like the same because he's a static toy. He doesn't move. Like,
Right.
he doesn't have any
Just
joints.
stands still.
So he has like this like one
The
paw
pose,
up
yeah.
thing, and like it's the exact toy, the exact the real like orange and white version. Like,
I'm glad toys got cool,
Mm-hmm.
and it's neat to see, like we're talking about, like older toys sticking around.
Yeah.
Like there's still He-Man collectors, and they still come out with like newer models of the toys. And
Mm-hmm.
everything. But there's some that they should just let go, just let it die.
Like what? Like He-Man characters or like
No.
toy lines in general should just die?
Some lines in general.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I still hear about someone trying to like make a new Stretch Armstrong.
I actually was at Target and they have like this little end cap full of retro toys, and they had a Stretch Armstrong. You'd
They
buy.
did?
Yeah. You know, it would be
Bad.
great if it was like.
He, by the way, he's the guy who stretches.
I had a Stretch Armstrong and I ripped it.
So all the goo came out.
All the it's full of
Really?
goo.
I didn't know they could actually rip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I had his nemesis, the red guy
Oh, yeah?
with the pump. and you suck the air out of him.
God, I remember.
Remember that? And he was
Yeah.
like full of like the Rockies and like
Yeah.
This is news to me.
you never saw the red guy?
No.
He was like Stretch Armstrong's nemesis.
The Noid.
He had a valve on his head, and you came with a pump, and you
Okay.
suck the air out of him, and he has like these. It's like foam.
Phloem.
Yeah. It was like lumpy, and like it made him. I don't know. You could stretch him then, like, and you could just like press a button, he would just inflate again.
Huh.
Or did you have to pump him full of air? I can't remember. And then there was the factory. Did you guys ever have that one?
I know the factory as being Andy Warhol's like nightclub that he owned.
There was, I think it was Stretch Armstrong.
I didn't know there was more to this franchise.
I
than
can't
just him.
remember what it was, but it was
I
like
know there was a creepy crawlers
I also
factory.
yeah, of course, yep.
Oh, your sister will be so grossed out.
But yeah, I mean the Stretch Armstrong, and oh god, what is it? Is this it?
Because like my older brother had a Stretch Armstrong.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what I was going to say is that I wish they had licensed it with DC so we could have a plastic man that stretches.
Ooh.
That would have been so
Oh, that would be
effing
neat.
cool.
Have you seen
This
G-
the Vactory Mega Morphing Vac
Vactory?
Factory.
spelled with V? It's a Vactory.
I had this as a kid,
So
and
there must
I
be-
played with it all the time.
So it's like a vacuum form thing?
Yeah, like it's these dudes here, and like they're just like skins, and you pop a head on them, and then you fill them with stuff.
Oh, that's kind of disgusting.
Like those
These,
are the
like,
heads.
Sacks.
Yeah,
We're
they're
gonna
like
have to
literally
make sure we
body
share a
sacks.
picture of this.
That
No one
looks
knows
kind
what
of
we're-
familiar.
And like you put it through each phase of the anyways, continue. It's
So-
on collectors.com for $35.
Oh, can I have 5? So yeah, Stretch Armstrong, you don't want to come back. What other ones were you thinking of? Like, did you have any like would come to mind?
That was the first one that came.
That was the
because
first
when
one
you
that
were
came to mind.
talking about like an older competitor with the GI Joe figures.
Yeah.
But I have plenty of my own GI Joes.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot.
So what was interesting is that you mentioned Matty Collector, and that website recently closed.
Okay.
So they had some. This is like interesting because they had some figures. They had like comic book accurate Watchmen figures. They had like leftover He-Man figures, like modern day the subscription He-Man figures.
Okay.
And then they had subscription like superpowers inspired DC collectibles, not DC characters.
Yeah.
That were like colored to look like the old toys, but they were like 6-inch figures. So like and like some Thundercats figures, and so on. But anyway, the point of me bringing this up is that it seems bizarre, but it's like someone who's a buyer for like GameStop, like must have like been like, hey, you're going out of business, you want to get rid of the stock, and now like you go to GameStop and they'll be there. Like these toys, the one in like near where I live, like they have like all of what I just said, like, and like it's just odd. Like you can see where it was, and now it's like in this like, is it a secondary market or a tertiary market? Like I don't know what that is, but like it was just very fascinating to see something that you. Like something like that in person was very odd.
Like it normally wouldn't be.
Something you could just buy.
Like it wouldn't be something GameStop would get on purpose to sell to people.
Yeah.
It's like I guess we'll put this on the shelves.
Like this is pop culture. This is nerdy. The kids will buy it. The kids know who Jackal Man is and Pumra or no, what's the guy? Panther, the
Mum-Ra?
Panther guy. There's Mum-Ra who's the bad guy.
Pumar?
There's like
I don't know.
he's like the black guy, but he's like he was I think
Thundercats?
Yeah, but he was
Panthro.
like a Panthro. Okay.
Yeah. By the way, John's voice just now, he was mimicking holding a cigar.
Yeah, because like kids.
See?
The executive at GameStop is the Penguin for some reason. I don't know.
I mean,
Probably.
steals enough money.
Yeah. Best I can do for this brand new game is $5.
Oh no.
Yeah.
They're down to cents.
Oh wow.
Like they'll be like $1.70.
If you want to store credit, though, we'll give you $2.
If you trade in 10 of those, we'll get you $5 off a brand new game.
I went in with my this is about 3 or 4 years ago. Went in a GameStop with my friend. He traded in his Wii with all of his games, about 4 or 5 games.
Like
his entire Wii console.
That's a nice.
His Xbox 360 Elite, the good version of 360, back when you can get a 360. all like 3 controllers, all of his games, every single one of his games. I think he had probably 12 to 15 games.
Mm-hmm.
He got $200 for the whole thing, and he did the store credit, so he got a little bit more than he normally if he chose to do like cash or whatever. But like just watching them go through the games, okay, this game. All right, I'll give you $3 for this one, $2 for this, and they're gonna slap at least $14.99 sticker on it. But yeah,
That
video
sucks,
games,
man.
power to the players. Am I right, GameStop?
Well, it sounds like they're ripping them off, but if you turn around and look at the shelf, and if let's say you traded in like FIFA 2012, and you look at the discount rack with 7 other copies of FIFA 2012, what do you expect to earn off that?
It's true. They could say no, we don't want this. We're not going to give you anything. And I told him, I was like, dude, I could sell those individually on eBay, and you could probably make a little bit more money.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just an easy way. Nope, I just want to get rid of it. Take it, get it out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So,
GameStop.
to make us feel a little better, I just thought of because you said toy line, and both of you may not know what this toy line is, but there's a Kickstarter to bring it back, and I just thought of this, and this might be fun to talk about. Back in the 80s, as like a competing toy line, there's got He-Man, Star Wars, Silverhawks, blah blah blah. There was one called Sectars. And
I'm familiar with Sectars.
And what was cool about this is that they're cool, like bug-inspired warriors, and they all rode different insects. So they were either giant or the bugs were giant. Or no, they were either tiny or the bugs were giant.
Or the vehicles were like plants of some kind.
Yeah.
Like a plant with a giant buzzsaw off the top of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like pretty cool, but they were all like insectoid creatures, and it was really cool. But what the coolest part is, like, if say the spider guy rides a spider, the toy of the spider steed would be a hand puppet, so the legs would be your fingers, so you could actually make it look like the spider was walking.
It's not flipping. Oh yeah, that's totally it.
So there's a Kickstarter to bring these guys back, and they look great. That's what I was trying to say.
I would have to go look for it.
Yeah.
I have one of their mini comics that like came in a box for one
Cool.
of the vehicles, and it's in my spare room right now because I've been trying to clean that room out.
Mm-hmm.
And I moved it just a second ago, like the other day.
I can't tell if the bugs are huge or if the people are.
Yeah, because they exist in like giant like
Are the people tiny?
plant jungles. You don't know if they're in blades of grass or if they're in a giant jungle.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty cool one.
Even their weapons look like segmented insect parts. The swords, the guns.
Mm-hmm.
But like the bad guys definitely looked like bad guys.
Oh yeah, the bad guy, because he had like black armor and like red eyes.
But then
and,
like the good guys still kind of like bad guys.
I saw one.
There's not like an easy way to make like
A
hero
bug look
good guys.
Bug look not gross. Like I saw one in a case, and it was so funny. He must have been like the stocky like the stocky like gruff one of the group, like of the good guys, because he was like a beetle, but he had a mustache.
And
it was like it was great. It was very funny.
Dude, he was more brown, right?
I think so.
Am I thinking of Dum Dum Dugan?
Like he's the Dum Dum Dugan of the Sectars.
I totally remember that, and because there would be a chase scene, and one of them would use the giant buzzsaw to buzz the plant that they were currently on,
to make the bad guys fall away.
They couldn't follow them, and
it's like F you, bad guys. But like, to bring back what you were talking about earlier, like, it is, some people are unabashed, like, because you said like sometimes I post a picture of like something on Instagram, like of my collection, but sometimes people are unabashed on Instagram, like they'll do like a whole shelf shot of like, look at all my stuff, isn't it cool?
Shelfie Saturday.
Shelfie Saturday. If I have enough stuff, I'll die happy.
Shelf porn.
Like, but like, I say that in jest because I collect stuff too. So
yeah, I mean, don't get us wrong. I am all about my bookshelves.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of displaying, putting stuff on my bookshelves. My bookshelves are almost like too crowded. I just added a new Lego set to. Oh my word! I don't know what that was. I just added a new Lego set to mine.
Oh, it was mine.
The
Yeah,
Y-wing.
I was gonna say that's not mine. Can't make sound while the board's plugged in. Yeah, the Y-wing. They also just
Nice.
came out with the quad jumper,
Oh, the thing they were gonna
They were
fly,
running to,
but it got blown up.
but it got blown up, so they had,
Just
to,
like
they had to settle
Alderaan.
for. Oh no!
Too soon? Is that too soon?
So they had to settle for garbage.
Being the best spaceship of all time. Garbage.
Would you argue that the Millennium Falcon is the most iconic spaceship of all time?
Well, there's also...
Because like there's the Enterprise,
There's the Enterprise.
which is that like one of the first?
Well, there's like Flash Gordon's spaceship back in the way back, but
Well,
like...
But I don't even know what that looks like.
Who can think of like what that looks like?
Yeah, exactly. But like when you say Millennium Falcon,
You know it.
like when that camera panned, that ship's garbage, blah 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 blah, and they pan over, like
You're like...
I made an audible noise,
like...
and I'm not like I like Star Wars a lot, but I know people who
Really?
really like Star Wars,
Like, they know where the Millennium Falcon was built. And unlike the fictional
the
world.
YT blah blah blah, and all the different modifications that Han made to it over
It's
the
like
years.
it's a Corellian starfighter. Like, it's a freighter.
It's not a Corellian cruiser
Oh, I'm sorry.
or a Corellian Corvette.
But anyway, what were we talking about?
I was going to say...
Collectibles.
like,
Collecting
some-
on shelf porn.
Yes. So one day when I have my own place or like have enough space with like enough shelving, I would want to like properly display like everything.
Right.
But like so.
Do you have an estimate on like your collection in terms of individual pieces? Because today alone you brought over 10, 12?
Yeah, it's probably maybe 50. It can't be that many. It all. Most
Coming
of
to a
it's,
harsh realization as I think about this number.
Most of it's because I'm preparing to move. Most of it's in like a tote.
Mhm.
Like I like to bag them all up so they don't get nicked while they get
Right.
jostled. I don't know if the bag does anything to protect them, but I like to hope it does. But
It's at least one layer.
yeah, one thin plastic layer that is just for my sake of mind. But like yeah, so it's probably not too bad. But so yeah, anywho, so yeah, once I get enough space, I want to really like curate it and like do it really cool and like cool displays. Like, oh, the Fantastic Four is right here and the JLA is right here. And I'm like, but yeah, so right now I just have a couple of figures, on display. So yeah, I brought over some cool stuff today. I themed it like brutes, like thugs, just like over the
Various
top,
thuggery.
muscular, like just like goons.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
The strong fighty guys.
yeah, the strong fighty guys who are strong and fight
And our goons.
and are goons.
Ironically, you didn't have a figure of the goon.
They have one out there,
Oh, yeah?
but I have never seen him in person, and I don't want to spend that.
So they
much
have
money to find
like a toy or like
It's a toy
Collectible.
toy.
Okay.
I think Mezco made a very short-lived line. I wish they made more characters because that book is great. And how cool would it be to get a Buzzard figure? That guy is awesome. He's a reverse zombie. He's a guy who has to eat the dead to survive. Because he was the zombie priest, who was the main bad guy, shot him with the zombie curse to he would raise the dead. But he did it on a living person by mistake. So anyway, so the line was Goon, Frankie, his sidekick, the zombie priest, and some one-off villain called Joey the Ball. And Joey the Ball is a little tiny guy who got his hand stuck in a bowling ball. So one of his arms is hugely muscular because he's had to drag around that.
Uh-huh.
And I've only seen Joey in person. I've never seen any of the cool characters. But anyway, so yeah, I brought over some big old monster dudes.
JR tried to correct for a second
Mm-hmm.
when he had said collectible.
Yeah.
And I want to say no. There's a difference between a toy and a collectible.
Yeah, that's what I was going for.
Okay.
Because like, he mentioned there was a goon figure,
Right.
and like because like sometimes there's the collectible, like the Tony Chu bust
Mm-hmm.
that Skelton made,
Yeah.
or even the new Headlopper that's on pre-sale right now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I know that's more. I'd still call that a collectible.
But
Yeah.
I kind of also does have articulation, so you could call it a figure, but
Yeah.
you can have the Venn diagram happen when it's both. Like
right, yeah, it meets in the middle.
Yeah,
But it's like it's not a toy though.
and it is like suggested for
15 and up, I think.
yeah, like it's not going to be like baby's first head lopper. You know, like,
That'd be
Make them
awesome.
fight.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned this last time too, and I still have one of them. I had it was a dual set. It was my Wolverine and a Sabretooth set.
nice.
And
And the Sabretooth, like his jaw like went up and down. Like
No,
so you could see, not that one.
Nothing moved.
Okay.
Or like it had articulation in the arms and legs and,
Okay.
and like the knee joints.
Gotcha.
But like nothing in the face or like the heads didn't
Okay.
move.
Okay.
But the Sabretooth had really sharp claws, like really sharp.
Mhm.
And the Wolverine was silver. I think you've seen the Wolverine. It used
Yeah.
to be in the first
Yeah.
studio.
Nice.
And that Wolverine could hold Sabretooth in the most perfect pile driver position. It was flawless, and I'd make them wrestle. And Wolverine obviously hit the pile driver like 15 times per match, because like for some reason, like the way everything just fit, he could do a real good pile driver.
So you
That's
could play with
awesome.
them.
Yeah,
So-
Yeah.
I play,
Yeah.
and like I still have the Wolverine. I found it the other day.
That's
Like
great.
it
and
is
that's what's-
dinged and marked up to shit.
But that's okay. It's like this is going to be so sentimental and saccharine, and I apologize. But like it's like that quote from the Velveteen Rabbit. Like it's become more real to you because it has had a history and it's become like played with and stuff.
Mhm.
So in some cases that's okay. And
But I'm not going to do it with my headlopper.
No.
Well,
but I was
I
going to
mean,
say what
you
the
could.
I could.
with the adult version. What's the adult version of the playing with action figures? If you go on Instagram, people like do these amazing like
The poses.
toy
Scenes.
photography,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
these dioramas, and like it looks like a city alleyway, and Spider-Man is like kicking Taskmaster's ass, and like or it's like something. Like that's really cool, and that's I think the adult version of playing with the action figures.
Yeah, it's tough to because like being an adult, that kind of I
Has
don't
some
know, innocence or whatever,
expectations.
like you can't play with your toys, or else you look like Dark Helmet. No,
Yeah.
I didn't see you playing with your action figures, sir. Like
There is that stigma of like you could be, and there's a scale, I think, like a spectrum of you could be like, oh, I said spectrum. Like no, there's nothing wrong with you if you play with action figures, but like if you you could just say they're a pop culture art piece, like, or you could say, yeah, sometimes I take them off the shelf and like play with them if I'm bored, like on my desk at work, like or something where I take pictures of them, like action figure photography, or me and my kid or niece and nephew, I'm connecting with them with my love toys with them. So, or you could. I think I want to start doing this is like use them. They're like the perfect cheap like drawing reference. Like like you could, because it's always better to draw from a 3-dimensional object than a 2-dimensional one, because you'll get that more realistic depth, and so that'd be cool. So anything like
even just last week, I spent $50 on a Lego set that my wife and I put together in the span of about 2.5 hours. I snapped the final piece in as the credits started playing on Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Because obviously we assemble Star Wars Lego sets while watching Star Wars. That's what we do.
Well, that's right. You made the Y-wing.
Yep. Put the
That's
Y-wing
cool.
together. Spent $50 on it. We put it together. Took about
Why
2.5
though?
hours. Yeah, why though? And it's now on the shelf,
Nice.
and that's where it will sit.
And that's okay.
Along with my other, we have 3 shelves of Lego sets, 2 shelves like on the wall, and then the rest on top of the bookshelves. The big ones like the Millennium Falcon, Star Destroyer.
I forgot. Do you have the Milano from Guardians of the Galaxy?
I do not.
Okay.
I only have Star Wars Lego
Okay,
sets.
only Star Wars.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you
I eventually want to. They are making. I'm pretty excited. They're making a Saturn V Lego set.
Oh, the space shuttle? That's rad.
Not the Well, they made a space shuttle one as part of the Lego City line.
Saturn V is the huge
Saturn
red
V
rocket,
is
right?
the
booster?
Saturn V is the rocket that took him to the moon.
Oh, the Apollo.
Yeah.
That's rad.
Yeah.
That's super rad.
You mean
And-
like a real spaceship?
Damn.
Is that?
No, like you're right.
Yeah, like an actual spaceship.
Yes.
You're naming stuff, and I'm like, what TV show or
No,
movie
no,
is
no.
this from?
It's from. It is the ship that took that manned the Apollo missions.
It is the exit from Earth vehicle
Yeah.
that brought them to space.
And they're releasing a Saturn V like next month, I think. Pretty reasonably priced too. It's like $140.
Nice.
You know how tall it is?
How tall?
3 feet.
Whoa.
From 3 feet from the ground.
From the ground. It's a
Like,
dick joke.
But
like, I think it comes with a horizontal stand that you can like lay it on as well.
Oh, that's
Because
nice.
I don't know. I have an 80-pound
with
German
that
Shepherd.
money, for that money, does it come with some of the ash from the challenge?
Damn.
Yikes.
Or,
That was
or
I
Apollo 1.
Apollo with
Would
the
that be
fire.
more fitting?
like,
Yeah, because Apollo 1
It's like,
burned. And
it could be
the audio to that is chilling.
If they make an Apollo 1 set, they could have a scratch and sniff.
Oh, no.
stickers.
No. We're not.
It could smell like bacon.
No, you did it still.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Horrible tragedy.
How did we get here?
Those men sacrificed their lives so we could progress in the
space.
space race.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, they're making a Saturn
Is
5.
that joke too dark?
If it wasn't,
God damn it.
if it wasn't for the Challenger exploding, we wouldn't have the art of Rich Woodall. He wanted to be an astronaut when he was a child,
Mm-hmm.
but then he saw the explosion and he decided to be an artist instead.
Huh.
He told us that story. You don't remember that?
I do not recall. That was a while ago.
Yeah, he's been on twice. Yeah, he wanted to be an astronaut, but
Mhm.
then he watched that happen. He's like, I don't need to be an astronaut anymore. I'm going to do something instead.
I wonder if there's any test to gauge if you'll freak out once you're in space. You're like, I'm in space. Yeah.
Space dementia,
Yeah,
like in
There's a lot
Armageddon.
of training for that.
Space madness.
Yeah, there's like rigorous. But yeah, they're releasing a Saturn V, and I'm gonna buy the shit out of it.
You should. You should.
But I'm a, like as far as the Lego sets go, I have tens of thousands of pieces,
Yeah.
and probably maybe a couple $1,000s in Lego sets. Probably close to like maybe 1,500. I don't know.
By pieces, you mean the individual pieces.
Individually, yeah.
Yeah.
One time I went through and added it up, but that was like 4 or 5 sets ago.
But what's cool is like you can. It's okay because you said they'll sit on a shelf, and like it's okay to have them as displays. That's okay.
But I do remember as a kid, one of the few actual, because we had the Lego bucket, the bin.
Yeah.
The bin.
I mean, it helped my mom had a daycare, so we always had toys growing up. But we had the Lego bin, and like I love to play with Legos, but then just smash it, and that was the end of my day. One set I actually did have growing, I got one of like the first Technic sets. It was you could either make a plane or a helicopter. Had the same set of pieces, you could make a plane, you could disassemble it, make a helicopter, disassemble it, make a plane again.
That's like brilliant engineering.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
That's amazing.
And I loved it. I built and rebuilt that thing probably 4 or 5 times.
That's great.
And like I actually played with it. I remember because at my childhood house growing up, we had a big park in the backyard. It was like one of the town parks, and I remember going out because I got it for Christmas, and I had built the plane, and I thought it was really cool because the plane had wheels and you could land the plane. I remember going out on the ice because the park was like completely frozen over. No, like it wasn't water; it was just like snow that
Right.
had
Mhm.
frozen. And I remember just like playing out there for like hours, just like taking off and landing this plane. And it wasn't remote control. I had to with my
your hands.
Yeah. Oh my god! Because I remember the plane's wheels had springs.
Yeah.
It's like it was like a real plane landing. I thought it
great.
was so fucking rad.
That is right.
And now I have my Lego sets, and every now and then I'll take one off a shelf and show my friends what it can do, and then I'll put it back on the shelf.
Yeah.
Like the Y-wing.
Yeah.
My wife and I keep joking on because it poops, because the Y-wing is a bomber.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And it has this cool thing. There's a little turn or a wheel on the back that you can spin,
Mhm.
and it has little bombs. And as you spin it, it'll
It'll poop the bomb.
drop bombs. So it poops bombs.
Yeah. Drop so many bombs.
And that's like and it also has like the laser blasters. You can press the thing and it shoots one of the plastic lasers.
Huh.
But other than
Over the
that,
blast door.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I do with my Lego sets, and it's kind of depressing. But I'm
Oh, it
also
makes
really
it does depress you a little bit.
well, look, because like I'm never
Little melancholic.
since we got the Kylo Ren shuttle, I've taken it off the shelf once to show my brother-in-law the fact that the wings fold in.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, it sits on the shelf. But I also love the Lego sets.
Yeah.
But it's only
You mean
like,
because
and again,
you don't play with these ones like you played with the other ones?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
because
Yeah.
like as you grow up, you just kind of lose that.
Yeah.
What are you gonna? Am I gonna play with my Lego sets? No, I'm gonna play video games.
Right.
If you did, there would be nothing wrong with that.
Exactly. That's what it's just. I guess the fire's not there. I
Yeah.
guess as you grow up, it turns from playing to just displaying.
To appreciating the aesthetics and like the
effort that went into
the design choices, like the cool engineering, and
I'm kind of risky too because I don't save the manuals.
What?
Oh man, so you can't resell it.
I have no interest in reselling them, and I also because I just don't know what to do with them. You know, they just take up room on my bookshelf, which is already overcrowded. So I chuck
You
those.
put it in a box in the closet.
You could sell the manuals
I don't
for like
have-
50 each.
I'm
sorry,
no,
that was
that's
my
probably not a
character
bad idea.
of being like asshole.
Man, why didn't I think of
collector.
that? I probably could have thought of that.
Yeah.
But
Yo.
like, I just chuck them, and then one time I dropped my slave one. It was bad.
Serves you right.
The slave one was the first Star Wars Lego set that I bought.
That's what you get.
Yep. And I dropped the shit out of it. And it took me a long time to get that. Because the wings,
Figure it out.
when you tilt it up, Boba Fett, like,
Yeah, the gyroscope.
sits up. Yeah.
yeah.
And the wings turn automatically. And I fucked them up. And
Yeah.
they weren't working right for a long time.
So yeah.
You know, our man Charlie from Sketch Prices
Has.
had to like download the instructions to his Millennium Falcon.
Well, that's like a fan-made one.
like a super deluxe.
Yeah.
What?
That's not like a legitimate set, I think. That's like a...
No, I think it is.
I can't remember. Well, I'll have to ask. Charlie's got to... He'll let me know.
Charlie, let us know.
Wow.
Charlie, is that a legitimate set, or is that one that has been created by the fandom based off of... I think he told us to
the
last time.
modular quality of Legos? You could probably build anything.
It's enormous.
Yeah.
Because he collected the individual pieces. He didn't buy it as a set. So he had to like find all the pieces he needed and like collect those. Because he said he had to download and print out the instructions from somewhere. But I thought he like already had the manual to a deluxe version of the set, like a super big one.
Can I
can't
ask
remember.
you? Can I ask you a question?
I feel like
Yes.
apologizing to Charlie for not listening.
I know.
to
I'm
him.
a piece of shit. Sorry, Charlie.
I'm sure he's never heard that before. Sorry, Charlie.
Your question.
I'm curious of the things I brought over in my bag of plenty.
Your bag of holding.
My bag of holding, yes. It holds so much. Which was your favorite thing?
Galactus.
Galactus.
Yes, John brought over a Galactus figure that is they call it a chase figure, right? Is that what they're
No,
called?
no.
They're not chase figures?
So
What are they
here's-
called?
So
You explained the difference to me in the past too. That's why I'm questioning myself.
it's different for different like genres of stuff. Usually, like let's say I order 3, 4, 5 cases of toys,
Mhm.
and then we just put all the cases on the shelf. We take all the figures out of the box, and like the ratio would be like let me think. Captain America without it with his mask on, you know you're gonna get like 2 of these figures per box.
Right.
Yeah.
But like 1 in 3 boxes is gonna have a figure without the mask, and that's the chase.
That's a chase.
That's the
Yeah,
chase
yeah.
figure.
Because you're
So
going to
it's-
chase it down.
It's more rarer.
It's like the pins, which we're going to get into, by the way. I want to talk about
yeah,
the
for
pins in a
sure.
bit.
Pins
Yeah.
are neat.
So that's a chase.
Right.
They could also it's also a variant now too. And sometimes
variants?
sometimes distributors know the variant's coming, or it could be like a blind package, like the chase would be. So sometimes a variant and a chase is the same thing.
But the Galactus is a build-a-figure.
Right.
Or
Okay.
a bath,
Bath.
if you will.
A bath.
Or-
So you got to buy a bunch of little figures that come with a piece.
Yep.
Which is why sometimes I see at toy stores, it's like, oh, hey, it's a Iron Man figure, and then also in the packaging is an arm.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
not like Iron Man's now hardcore and rips limbs off.
But you can, if you buy all the figures in the line, you can assemble a larger,
Yes.
more
So, like, 5 or
valuable.
7.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be larger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes
'Cause
it's like
in my
Jubilee.
head, it's supposed to
happened.
be. Really? Jubilee was one?
Yeah.
Ugh. And not that I have a problem with Jubilee,
But
she should just be a
she's
regular
tiny
figure.
Asian lady. Like
It's like the draw of it is supposed to be that it's bigger than their
yeah,
wrist.
like it can't fit in normal packaging.
What if it was a big Jubilee? Would that be chill? Like
she got size changing powers for
I mean, no, if she was just a large version of
Yeah.
Jubilee, you know.
Yeah.
But then it
She
wouldn't
let
match with
herself
any
go.
other figures. It wouldn't be the same size. Why would you?
She let
But it makes
herself
sense
go,
that
so she's
Galactus
like,
is the large
Yeah.
figure because
Right.
Galactus eats planets.
he's the
Yeah.
devourer of
So,
worlds.
and then Galactus is rad.
He's
He was
rad.
having trouble standing today.
Usually
but
he
he-
stands up, but we got him standing.
But he's also like the first of his kind.
He's the grandfather of all Build-A-Figures. He is the first one ever.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I didn't. Is that why you were very upset at the price that John
Yeah.
paid? Oh, I didn't know that.
Because then I immediately looked it up. In my head, I'm like, it should be 3 times that.
Right.
But then it was like, oh, it's only like $20 more than that, which wasn't too bad.
I didn't know that because like I've been seeing those for a couple years now.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know that it was like because you have a couple.
I have 2 Sentinels.
Yeah. Had no idea. As far as my favorite that you brought over, John, I mean, Galactus was amazing. I loved the detail in the Black Adam that you had brought over.
Black Adam is rad.
Black Adam is rad.
The new 52 Black Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With this Kirby crackle inside of his lightning bolt.
And,
His bristling energy.
I feel like it's only been in the past like 2 years
Mhm.
that I've heard the term Kirby crackle.
Yeah, I
And
love that.
I knew immediately what it was when I heard it.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've missed out because I haven't heard it before that.
Right.
Like, what have I been missing?
Mhm.
Are there other cool terms that's foreign to me, and I just haven't picked up on it yet?
What else? The Wampa was cool.
Wampa, yeah, from Star Wars.
John pulls a Wampa out of the bag. I immediately ask,
Everyone, yeah. The first thing you have to ask: Does the arm come off?
And does it?
Obviously, it does.
Yes, it's amazing.
I mean, really, like any arm could come off of a figure, but
But
they
this
went,
one's
they went
meant
the
to.
extra mile and they colored the inside red, like it looks like,
there's
meat.
like
There's,
meat,
you know,
like you're like, oh, damn it.
and that's just a small portion. That's just a like the bruisers, you know, the goon squad, if you
Yes.
will, of that. Like that's when you get a collection, when you start to collect and it's large enough that you can start to differentiate categories of those figures.
Cool.
You know, like
It's cool. I should bring over, or I should like gather together and send you a photo of because I might not be around. But like, the masterminds, like the Luthors and the Jokers or the dark sides of the world. You know, stuff like that. Although Darkseid could be both a bruiser and a mastermind.
It's true. Darkseid's a badass. So
He is life. He is love. He's Darkseid.
Since you were gonna ask, because I know you were gonna, because to bring it back to me, I did buy all the figures to build one of my Sentinels.
Nice.
Right.
I bought every figure in the package and then opened them.
And I did not do that to get Galactus. I perchance happened upon him in a glass case, and I was like, I got to have it because I'll probably never see it again at this price.
Also, I saw one at a convention. There was one at a convention fully built,
Yeah,
and I asked the guy, and he wanted like 120 for it.
that's crazy tough.
This was a couple years ago.
Yeah,
And like I thought about it.
because he's cool.
Buying all the figures individually ran me a bit over 100.
Mm-hmm.
And then I sold all the figures
Well, it's good.
because I just wanted the Sentinel.
Yeah,
And then my second one I found at an auction. He was
Cool.
missing one arm, so I just bought the arm off eBay.
nice.
isn't the
nice.
internet just amazing?
I have a buddy that throughout the months we have collaborated where I'm like looking on eBay. I'm like, dude, I found something.
Mhm.
Like, get on it. He's a huge Green Lantern fan, and he managed to almost complete the Collect and Connect, which is the DC,
DC
version
version.
of Build-A-Figure,
Yeah.
Kilowog.
Ooh.
And he is taller than any other like Kilowog. He's like a beast.
Yeah.
Like, he is a beast. But he doesn't have the left arm. So it's like it's almost done. And like that's kind of cool in a way because it has something for him to like strive for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like once you finish, like what do you do with your life?
What
after
do I
that?
do now? Well, I just throw it out then. Like the hunt's over.
I have bought the Deputy Lantern set from DC Universe.
Oh, nice.
And then I sold all those
Hmm.
so I could put together the Anti-Monitor.
Oh, right. Yes.
and then
yes.
I gave that to a friend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah, but
Oh.
the Anti-Monitor is a good build-a-figure
Because he's supposed to be like
He's a big
Yeah.
dude.
he's huge. He destroys universes
yeah,
for fun.
but like
Like
let me think. What's this? Have we talked about like which ones have been disappointing before? Like Mojo. No one wants a Mojo figure.
No kids like writing Santa, dear Santa Claus. You know how you're obese, but you
I
wear.
love television.
It's like, you know how you're obese and you wear a suit to cover that up? I want a toy of picture you just not wearing a shirt but having spider legs and like
Yeah, let's toss them legs out.
like, toss them legs out. Give you a scorpion tail.
Some big weird tail. Yeah.
Give you like pale, gross, splotchy skin. Can you give me that? For
I hate your
Christmas,
hair
please?
though. Make your hair wires.
Yeah, make it wires and make it like little hooks go into your eyes, like you're watching a Clockwork
Think of
Orange.
the most grotesque version of you, and then give me a toy of it.
And now just make it really annoying. Like
Yeah.
like the person that it is itself is just really shitty and annoying.
It's like, ho ho, okay, little Jimmy, you got it.
You're a masochist.
But yeah, terrible. That one's terrible. Or like we mentioned, the current one out there right now is there's a wave of Marvel Legends that are like cosmic space characters tying into the new Guardians movie, and they have some Guardians characters that have some space characters.
Imagine
And-
doing Ego.
Like
Build a
the
figure
whole
of-
planet. That would be awesome. Like honestly, that would be awesome.
I have a
Like-
piece of rock.
Like they,
Yeah, but when you put it together with the other,
it's a face. But like they could. One of the figures is Death's Head, some big bulky character that could have been the Build-A-Figure, but it's not. The Build-A-Figure is a normal-sized character called Mantis from the Guardians movie. And so if you want Mantis, you got to buy them all.
so now she's really rare.
Got to catch them all.
Yeah, but
Pokemon.
I'm sorry, but I don't think Death's Head is that popular.
Yeah.
Like no one would really want a Build-A-Figure of that.
Well, to counteract your point that you
Okay.
just said,
Okay.
there was the previous wave
Yeah.
built a character I've never heard of who looked like a Rogue Nova Corps member named Titus, and he had a tiger head and like an arm that had like a gun coming out of it.
Wow.
Like, yes, wow.
I don't know who that is.
That's like super obscure, and they're like, sure, he's big. Let's make him the Build-A-Figure.
Huh.
So yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
You got me on that one.
yeah.
Have they done a Destroyer yet? They should do a Destroyer.
They have done a
Oh
Destroyer.
my god.
but like a
Um,
big figure.
They have they did a Marvel Select. He wasn't a Build-A-Figure, but
Okay.
he was a Marvel Select Destroyer, and he was chunky. But what was cool was that he had the Destroyer helmet.
Yeah.
But then his alternate head was Odin.
Okay.
So like
Yeah.
Odin at one point I think wears it.
Yeah.
And like it comes with a giant sword. So like it's like Odin's like Ragnarok is here, and he has to go put the suit on and kill some stuff or whatever. So yeah, but not a collecting whatever figure. Anywho, what do you want to talk about now?
The latest collectible craze.
What's the latest the fidget spinners? Or?
No, we are not talking about fidget
my
spinners.
This is fidget spinner
They're
corner.
They have started to reproduce at my job, and I can't believe it. We're not talking about fidget spinners. We are talking about. Can we talk about enamel pins?
Enamel pins. Yes, we can.
Okay. Sure.
Is that
And-
cool?
yeah.
Can
And
is
how
that
they
chill?
are
I
cool.
can-
They're cool.
Enamel pins are rad,
They are rad.
and like we've hinted on it in the on our episodes with Jeff from Penny Arcade, because he cackled victoriously, when they rung us in and got us addicted to the the craze of Penny Arcade. And that's like one of the first things that I recall like kicking off the. I'm not saying that Penny Arcade got everyone into enamel pins again, but like up until then I was like, pins, really? Pins?
Well, Disney, the theme parks have been doing it for like a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And like
Oh, yeah.
maybe the world was catching up.
Alex and I have witnessed
We've experienced a Disney pin trading event.
Where?
at a hotel in New Jersey
I would love to. That's
at like 2 a.m.
you like feel like anthropologists.
It was
It was like
surreal.
it was a weekend of Disney pin traders
Yeah, man.
like having this little
Like,
event.
oh,
at
do they
this
wear like
hotel.
vests covered in pins?
Some
Like
of them did.
Chainmail.
Hang on. Some of them had like carts with containers on them. Think of like a 2 foot by 2 foot square Tupperware container
I love that I'm hearing about this right now.
with foam layers in
Yeah.
between, and then some also had like binders
Yeah.
to put them in sleeves.
Yeah.
So they'd sit down and like either flip the foam pads between these layers,
Right.
or look through their stacks and stacks of binders, three-ring binders that had these pins in them,
Binders full
and-
of women.
and
Hashtag
like,
not topical.
and there was a room full of people, and like because we're out, we got home, we got back to the hotel from going to our event, which it was either Steampunk World's Fair or
It was World's Fair.
yeah, and like
Because Brett was with us.
It was
Brett
me-
wasn't with us at Wicked.
me and Jar and Brett were like sitting outside the hotel looking through the window like into their boardroom, breakfast room, whatever, one of the gathering areas.
Yeah.
And like we're just watching them like negotiate. And like, do you want to look at mine? And like you see them pass their book over and the person start flipping through and like stop and ask a question, and like they like it, some people were like enthusiastic, some people were bored, because like when you get really good, you've already seen all of them, or you already
Like,
own enough. And
You've been around the pin block. You've been.
you would think
But
this
the-
one's rare, but I have 3 of them.
You've
so.
been around the block.
But like
that's
for
not
me,
good.
like as far as the pin craze, and I wouldn't even say it's a craze, but so remember when Penny Arcade was like, hey, we're gonna start making pins, we're gonna sell at PAX. I think pin trading is cool.
Yeah.
we should start pin trading. I didn't know pin trading was a thing. First person I ever saw do a pin trade was Alex at Boston Comic Con. Someone was looking at your bag and you saw his hat and you're like, hey, you like that one? How about we done a trade?
You want to trade?
And you guys made a
You
trade.
like opened your jacket and you had a bunch of pins.
It was like baseball cards.
Yeah.
I thought you only traded cards. You don't trade pins.
The first like trading thing I heard of.
You can
for
trade
pins,
toys. I've
was-
seen on Instagram people trading toys, but go on.
I've tried that.
And no go.
No, I have traded HeroClix. I've traded a lot of HeroClix in the past. No, like the news was reporting on Atlanta for the Olympics, because Olympic pins are a thing that get traded. I didn't know Olympics had pins. And like there was some
They're
kid who,
instantly forgettable mascots.
and
in stadiums.
and like
Name
one of
one.
these kids had a rare one and he had him on his lanyard.
Mhm.
And I was like, I didn't know that was a thing. So when I see Olympic pins come around, I was like, oh right, people trade these.
Yeah.
It's like how do you know what trade value
What
money
I love
exchange?
is that there's like a pin. If you have like a cool nerdy interest, like I love comic book characters or like the PAX characters, which are like cool. Like I have a passing knowledge of them, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Or like I've seen on like you have this artist. Can we name drop him like Joe Quinones?
Yeah.
His pin
I'm
game.
always
No,
down to talk about Joe
we
Quinones.
can't talk about artists on this podcast. We never do that, John. You're silly.
But his Instagram is like showing off his pins, and like
He has a
they're-
strong pin game.
They're great, and like
Dave Johnson had a couple that he had made when people would ask about him.
some
They're,
podcasts
they're
have
for
them.
they're for friends only.
Oh,
Huh.
He made a pig with devil horns
that's great.
because his online name
Devil
is Devil
Pig.
Pig.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And someone's like, "Are those for sale?" And he's like, "They're for friends, but give me some time,
Yeah,
maybe."
Maybe down
like
the road.
some podcasts that I've like. You guys have pins.
We have our own pins.
You have your own
that
pin.
are for sale, $5.
Some of my favorite podcasts have been getting into pins. Like Bizarre States has some pins where one of their pins is a Ouija board, and there's a little like a thing that moves. The planchette actually can move on it. The little like thing where you hold it, like
Yeah.
Bizarre States. What do they do?
They talk about paranormal stuff.
Okay.
They're off of Nerdist. They're mostly like funny. They just
Okay.
like talk about like stuff they've heard. Like they were big into all the clown crap that was happening, the alleged clown thing that was happening
The
last like
nonsense.
fall. But like My Favorite Murder is doing one where I don't have a favorite murder. That's the name of a podcast. But they have their own pins. Or I think like people have made them on Etsy and they don't like prosecute because they want them
Okay.
to make
Yeah,
money and they
yeah.
just like that there's a fandom that's growing. And they have a lot of catchphrases like "Stay sexy, don't get murdered" or "You're in a cult, call your dad." And like, like,
I got him.
I really like that one.
like, they're funny women. They're very funny women. I would probably mess up their names if I said them right now, but they're Georgia Hardstark and Karen Kilgariff. That's their names.
And they're from My Favorite Murder.
My Favorite Murder.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
That's
They're like
clever.
number 13 on like the top of the charts on the podcast, and so they're like
Damn.
doing pretty damn good.
They're okay.
Um,
Yeah, we're
They're
probably
o-
up there too.
they're
I
okay.
mean, we're probably really close.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was charts. So
And they have like another phrase that's like "stay out of the woods" because it's always like,
yeah.
yep, well, we found a body in the woods. But yeah, pins are great. Did you want to elaborate more?
I just think they're rad. I mean, nowadays, like, most recent acquisition from our good friends over at Skeleton Crew.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, we made a chog pin that glows in the dark. You had me a chog pin.
Yeah.
Glow in the dark, cool, even better. And like after PAX last year, not the most recent PAX, when I got the dog meat pin that I wanted, and a couple others, and I had a collection from previous years. I was like, hey, I want to make a pin display thing. So my wife and I went to Michael's, and I bought a
Shadowbox.
shadow box, thank you, and I bought some cork from Walmart that was just happened to be the exact perfect size of the shadow box.
Nice.
And then we bought some fabric at Joann's, and my wife sewed it together. I was pretty awesome, and I went with yellow and blue with like the Penny Arcade colors because most of my pins were Penny Arcade. And I'm also a psycho apparently. And I put together this nice pin display.
Mm-hmm.
I've just been updating it with the pins that I got. It's nice, like 12 by 12.
Nice.
Right now I probably got like maybe 20 pins in there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's as if he was on Pinterest and found this simple house project you could do with just items you found around your house by going to Walmart and Michael's and Joann's.
Exactly. Exactly.
And so
Only
they
I
were
didn't
so they were eating salad out of mason jars.
go- Yeah, because that's
Like, you could
Pinterest.
make a cake.
Pinterest.
You can
By the
make
way,
a
I did
whole-
alien hands.
You can make a cake out of a beer in a beer stein, and you can it's beer cake. You could just eat the cake. in the
Obviously.
kitchen, like
But pins are like I'm down, and Alex bought me a set of pins a couple years ago,
nice.
and like I was that guy who had one of the pins displayed on his jacket.
Mm-hmm.
I had the Ellie pin on my jacket, but then not Ellie,
Ellie?
yeah, Ellie,
Yeah.
From Last of Us.
Last of Us.
Alex got me an Ellie and Joel pin set from
That's
Eric
like a
Scarecrow.
lighthearted, fun game.
Oh yeah,
right?
it just makes you feel great.
Oh, the Eric Scarecrow ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I had one on my hat,
Mhm.
and then I had Joel on my hat and Ellie on my jacket, and then the Joel kept falling off, and I got nervous for Ellie too because I lost one of my other
A different LA pin.
my other Ellie pin, which
We lose more.
you can
Ellies
hear
that way.
you can hear that story on our the last episode that Jeff from Penny Arcade was on because we were talking about Penny Arcade, and I worded it in a fun way and dealt with my honeymoon. You can go back and listen to that. But I lost a pin. I didn't want to lose, so I wanted to display them properly instead of wearing them.
Mhm.
So I have my shadow box with my pins in it, with my collectible pins. Some of them are collectible, some of them are
Just fun.
whatever.
Yeah, you just like them. Like that goes to like any collectible. Like the thing you collect might be worth something, but like you might also have something that is worth something to you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like-
I do not care about any value
Yeah.
on any pin that I own because I'm pretty sure that I think the Ellie pin was the most valuable one I had. I've eBayed it a couple times since I lost it.
Yep.
Yeah, that one's worth a little bit, but
Yeah.
all the others I think like $15 at most. I don't care.
Mhm.
I like displaying them though. You know,
Yeah.
they're a neat, and I hope it's not just a trending like a fad. Well, it's been around for a couple years now. It's been going. And like every year, you know, there's new pin, and everyone sells pins now. We had Jamie Noguchi on; he sells fucking awesome pins. I really hope they come back to Connecticut this year, so I can buy all of them. I mean, again, you can go to his website and do it, but I also
We
like
need
buying
to
it in
get you
person.
like a Walmart greeter vest. You can put all your pins on. Like
A sash, a nice
sash.
Boy Scout sash.
yes.
Have you seen?
Yes.
Have you not seen my bag?
No, I've seen it.
Okay.
I've seen it.
It's a good bag.
It's a great
Years
bag.
ago,
Or
I-
no.
I
Cargo shorts. And just
put pins on your cargo shirts.
pin them all on
Bringing
your
it
cargo
back.
shorts.
That wouldn't be. That's not. I kind of like that idea. It
Yeah. So you like jangle
might
as
be
you
kind
walk.
of scratchy on the inside.
Yeah.
though.
Like all the pin backing is scratching your thighs.
The Penny Arcade ones are rubber. So,
Oh, okay.
but
Good.
the rest are yeah.
Rubber's the way to go with pin backing now. By the
Stay
way,
safe, you know.
Like that's the
It took you a second.
John's on fire today.
Call your dad.
That's not even my joke. I can't take credit for that. They're very funny women.
I've had pins in one of my jackets
Mhm.
since high school. I'm doing that. I've been cool since, and it was the shield of my double axes,
Nice.
and there was a Conan pin,
hmm
and there was my favorite wrestler at the time,
Mick Foley.
Chris Benoit.
Oh.
Who, if you listen to our Matthew James episodes, whenever you hear a beep, surprise, we're saying the name Chris Benoit.
Stop saying it.
Oh God! Don't say it 3 times.
He might show up.
He might show up and kill us.
So pins.
But that's as long as I've had. I still have them all too.
Yeah.
They've shifted to my bag, and so now like my bag is my trade. No, my bag is my keep bag.
Mhm.
I have to figure out what to do with my trade ones, the ones that I'll offer for trade. If I don't just buy the ones I want.
I've bought pins off of Alex.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, hey, how much? Yeah, do it. Do your thing, man. I'm gonna call attention to it.
That was a good whisper.
I bought from Alex. I was like, hey, I want these. Can I buy them from you? And you were like, yeah.
That's because I'm a capitalizing jerk.
Well, you had pins in your possession, and I asked if they were for sale, and they were.
But I buy them to make them for sale. I got a bunch of sets this past Christmas of the blind boxes from Penny Arcade.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically so that, like, I'd want to keep a couple, But then I figured I could turn a profit on the rest by flipping them.
You son of a bitch.
For
You've also been trading them too.
Oh, I've traded
You've been
a bunch.
active on their site.
Yeah,
Like there's a special Penny Arcade trading site, just a website devoted to trading. It's only Penny Arcade pins, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And like people, you can search in terms of like rarity.
Yeah, I'm on Penny Pals.
Penny Pals.
Penny Pals.
Penny Arcade Penny Pals. I think there's a panel at every PAX about it too. Like there's pin trading meetups.
I want to make a sentence that has more P's in it.
Penny Arcade Penny Pals provides provocative provocative pleasure for pin
PAX enthusiasts.
PAX. I'm trying to think of a word like connoisseur.
We'll need to script this out.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have the whole pin trading events. You
Right.
see like the people with the sashes covered in like pins are huge.
Mm-hmm.
It's like just
Hey,
enamel,
John's
and
back.
it's not even like
I've been here the whole time. What are you talking about?
Yeah, John never left. He
I didn't-
never
I didn't
ever
go
left.
piss.
There was
he
a
didn't go
reason
pee.
we talked about P words for a while.
Penny,
Was the connection.
but like, someone had posted on Instagram the other day, like, hey, like when you scroll like these are posts you might like based on posts you've liked in the past on
Mhm.
Instagram.
Yeah.
One of them was a company was like, hey, our most popular pin is back in stock, and I almost bought it. It was a pin of a mug, like a coffee mug,
Right.
and it said, "Mornings are for coffee and contemplation."
Oh.
Yeah, just got
Very
you both.
cool.
Just got you both.
Nice.
I saw one that was just the heads of He-Man and Skeletor. They were just like but they were like glittery, and I was like, "That's freaking awesome!" Like, just like the most popular video on YouTube is the What's Going On video,
He-Man.
the He-Man one,
And I said, hey. Yeah.
and
There it
he
is.
prays. But anyway,
It's one of those things that I've been using the phrase "lean in" a lot. I just leaned into it. Give me them pins.
you made it sound wrong.
You and your phrases.
Yeah.
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 Whatever. I'm not gonna say it.
Maybe you should, for opinions may varies, next pin, you should say, you're really leaning in on it. Something like,
No.
Lean into them hot
Nope.
takes.
leaning, or
Nope.
JR's hot take.
Yeah. Once edition 1 are gone, it is a limited edition. There is a set amount.
Mhm.
You guys need,
So get them while you can.
I just got some brain action going
Oh, yeah?
on.
Yeah.
Don't hurt
You
yourself.
guys need, aneurysm. But you guys need like cartoon versions of yourselves and
We-
make pins of them.
We kind of have some.
Okay.
There's Jared. Can you?
Yeah, we have
Seymour's
yes,
East
yes.
Corners.
East Corners.
His East
ideas
Corners
can differ
version.
when he's drawn us into his comic once.
We're in
twice.
at least like two. I don't know what he calls them.
panel.
We're not, but like there's like 3 panels to a strip. We're in
Right,
2
right.
strips, at least 2 strips.
2 strips.
Yeah, yeah. And,
And
we
then-
were promoting the art stroll through East Corners on that episode. Ideas can differ.
And we were also drawn
Yep.
by two of the guys from Cyanide and Happiness.
Can you describe what's happening in this comic?
It was at Kineticon our first year that we both went. Cyanide and Happiness was there, and we're like, hey, and they do the thing where they'll give you a sketch if you buy a certain amount of merch, whatever, cool.
Mm-hmm.
And they both draw at the same time on the paper, and sometimes they cross over and add stuff to each other's drawing, and it's really neat. And they're like, hey, can you just draw us? How about you draw us? We do a podcast.
Yeah, we said draw 2 guys doing a podcast,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's what they started with.
And it's Alex and I. Apparently, I was wearing my Yankee hat that day, and I'm shirtless with my nipples out, speaking into a microphone that the cord goes into Alex's bikini G-string
Underpants.
underpants.
Yeah.
And Alex looks like he's dancing, but they got his mustache perfect, just perfect, really.
Yeah.
They got my stubble and everything. It's just a really happy image.
They gave JR some really serious buck teeth though.
I love
They
that
did.
your shirt, or no, it's not shirt. Your smile takes up so much real estate on your head. Like you're so happy.
I'm just really happy, you
Yeah.
know. That's what we do here.
It's awesome.
And they wrote opinions may vary on the top, and they're really cool guys.
There's some lengthy pubic hair coming out of my shorts too.
Yeah,
My-
like-
my underwear.
you need to trim that shit.
It's like, is it a mic cable at all, or is it gross?
Because like one
Gross myself out.
one of the
It's
strings.
wireless.
as they're both drawing, one drew the string coming out,
Yeah.
and the other guy just connected it without knowing where it came from,
It's like, yeah,
and just made that into the microphone.
that is synergy.
So once one of them like moved his hand, he was like, "Oh God!"
It's like, oh,
he didn't know what he just did, but
oh,
it was
no.
great.
What have I done?
But yeah, we have had some cartoon. Maybe next pin cycle.
Yeah.
Once we get rid of the remain, we got a couple left.
Mhm.
You know, a couple hundred left
I've
that we can.
I've been meaning to like make like a nice display for the Instagram and
Yeah.
like combining pictures of people who already have them,
Right,
which I have a couple.
John, do you have a
pictures
pin?
Like, you
I'm
know
gonna pop a
what?
pin right on that hat.
You know what? I don't have one.
Oh,
I'm gonna pop one right on that hat right there.
just lean it right on. Just
I'm gonna lean into it. and just
Lean
pop it.
in real hard and get that pin on
I
there.
don't think you guys understand the term "lean in."
No, it's probably one of those new things that I don't like.
Lean in is not a new term.
Yeah.
Sandberg,
never heard it, so,
Sheryl Sandberg. Sheryl Sandberg?
Never heard of her.
Sheryl Sandberg. She was the she wrote a book called Lean In.
Hmm.
She worked for Facebook. That's what it was. And she had a very, very popular book called Lean In. Very popular for many, many years.
I just came to a realization.
Those were all unamused. memes.
I think her husband died.
Oh, yikes.
Realization?
Realization. So there's an H.P. Lovecraft story called the Shadow over Innsmouth. And the Shadow over Innsmouth is like fish people, basically. They're not called that because they're called something spookier.
Yeah.
That explains a lot.
But fish people have interbred with the population. So they all look kind of like wide-eyed and fishy and gross.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Innsmouth is this little coast town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg
Is-
is a fish person. Have you looked at him?
No.
He's a weird-looking guy.
He's our future president, apparently.
No.
That explains a lot about the. There's, you guys know what ASMR is?
No.
Yeah.
ASMR,
You've never heard of it?
autonomous
No.
sense something meridian response something.
Yeah.
You know when you hear a noise and it's a nice sounding noise and you get tingles and you get
Yeah.
that's it makes you
Okay.
feel nice,
Mhm.
puts you to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Guilty pleasure, I'm a sucker for ASMR. Puts me right the fuck to sleep.
What noise?
Just anything. Crinkles and whispers and shit. Just people being really breathy into a
Here's
microphone.
what it is. A lot of people do this whisper thing.
And there's a
where
lot
like
of
you can
mouth sounds.
hear
also-
the liquid. in
Yes.
your mouth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
again, there are a lot of types. There are a lot of different
Yeah.
artists, ASM artists
Oh my God.
I
out
didn't-
there.
That's
Wow,
not-
this is going somewhere I didn't even.
Dude, it's
Yeah.
a whole
Yeah, yeah.
subculture on the internet. Trust me, dude.
Yeah.
It's like people who mask
And like they make their YouTube videos are like hours long.
Yes.
when they just read from the dictionary.
Some of them are inaudible
They're
mouth
They're
sounds.
telling a story.
So it's just a lot of
Oh God!
yeah.
It's like you have a handful of worms.
That's but like there's one of them. He's a very popular ASM artist. Goes by the name Ephemeral Rift.
You
And
made
he-
that up, right? They don't actually.
No, that's what they call him.
Or you're
And-
stirring spaghetti.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, no,
Oh god, that's gross. And he takes the whole ASMR thing and just leans into it.
goes
and-
full on.
He goes like a lot of people, like every ASM artist has the same 5 videos.
Mm-hmm.
There's the tailored suit. We're gonna fit this custom suit to, and again, I'm not even trying to mock them because I watch these videos every single night before bed. They do the tailored suit video. They do the cranial nerve exam. There's an eye exam. There's an ear cleaning.
they're like
and there's a barber shave. They all do they all have that same video set. A lot of them branch out and do other stuff. And this one guy, Ephemeral Rift, does really weird shit. And one of them, he's a big H.P. Lovecraft guy, and one of them he's an Innsmouth. He's a shopkeeper at Innsmouth, and he wears like this fish mask, and he has like fish hands, and he's trying to sell you shit. But like it's
How does he make that MSI?
it's surreal, dude.
I've never heard of this. This is blowing my mind.
There's one part of the video where he has a paper cup, and he says like, I like the word paper cup, and he says the word paper cups about 36 times in a row, and he's not my favorite. Every now and then I'll watch some of his
It
videos.
just loses its meaning after the 10th time.
Exactly. But like he does he did one, he bought the life size, it was even larger than life size, the alien egg that had the face hugger in it.
Yeah, you love
Oh,
this.
God.
He just did a review on it. Like, hey, I bought this. It wasn't even like, it was just him talking about
Like,
it.
did you watch that one?
Part of it. Up until he opened the egg. But like
Ew.
he and I give him all the credit in the world because making this, he has good production value, like his quality is good, and he also has outside of the box ideas. It's not just the breathy talking into the microphone.
Have you checked the children?
Now I'm just going to clean you. I'm going to clean your ears. You're gonna hear.
Oh God, no! It's like all I envision is like that scene in Temple of Doom where she puts her hand in that thing full of bugs to save Indiana Jones, and like there's like a tapeworm going up her wig. Oh my God!
She wasn't wearing a wig.
She's in a room full of cockroaches.
That was a
But I
centipede,
never-
not a tapeworm.
Whatever.
I didn't know
They don't exist
Innsmouth
outside of you.
was a thing. So here it makes a lot of sense in my mind. Now we've gone.
You've never heard of Innsmouth?
No, I've never read
Or
H.P. Lovecraft. Yeah, I've never.
You're friends with Brett Kelly.
I am friends with Brett Kelly.
Oh
I'm
my
sorry,
God!
Brett. I love you.
Hashtag internet scandal.
I've also never seen Lord of the Rings.
Oh, that just makes me sad.
It's
What,
okay.
man? Get at me.
Fair.
Well, you like Star Wars, so that's good.
It's true. I do
We'll
like
have
Star
to
Wars.
see what your hot take on Lord of the Rings is.
On Frodo and Sam's
Adventure.
very, very close relationship.
I feel like I've seen all I need of Lord of the Rings from watching Clerks 2.
We're walking.
My-
walking.
My parents said to me, they're like, "Hey, what do you know about Frodo?" And I was like, "Well, he's a bitch." And
A little bit.
And my
yeah.
parents like start laughing, and I was like, "Why?" They're like, "We found out that our good friends, their son, his coworkers call him Frodo."
Oh,
And I was like, "Well,
bullying in the workplace.
here's a few things, and he's still a bitch." My parents like, "Okay." Like that kind of explained it.
Yeah. Oh man, that's rough.
So collectibles.
So collectibles, yeah, collect what you like. It's okay if you play with them. It's okay if you don't.
All right, time to talk about coins, you guys.
Okay.
Is that all the time we have?
Okay. I guess we're not talking about coins.
Yeah, coins and stamps. You can go.
Whoa. Hey, man. My dad has a very respectable stamp. My dad has a copy, like a used copy of the first stamp ever made.
Nice, nice.
Huh.
With Queen Victoria's face on it. You thought I was gonna say something else?
Was that for half a cent? Or?
I don't know.
A shilling?
He showed it to me once. My dad is one of my heroes, and it's rare when you get him talking.
Okay.
About like something he's passionate about.
Yeah, but when you get like, it's nice to hear him talk about like he also has a lot of coins too, big into coins. He talks about his stamp and his coin, collections. It's just neat to just sit and watch and admire, because it's easy for us to just be like, oh yeah, comic books, I have that issue, shut up,
I retract my statement then, and I am now a hypocrite because I have some superhero stamps I want to frame.
Ditto.
So
Well, I don't want to frame on because
My dad got me
yeah.
I
it
have
was
the
like a Bugs Bunny. It was like a collectible stamp for like Bugs Bunny that came with a comic book, and it was a
Nice.
limited set number of things. Back, I can't remember what year it was, and like I remember it was when I was living with my parents a couple years ago. With my wife, we were saving for a house, and he just came down. He's like, "Hey, I picked this up for you." And I was like, "Motherfucker!" Man. So that's in my collection now
Well,
too.
literally, yeah.
Yeah. Oh God. Damn
Oh
it.
boy, is that the note we go out on tonight, folks?
There it is.
So what should we call this episode?
Real
then?
highbrow quality.
We went a lot of places today.
Yeah.
It's true. John? You named the last time we were on. We pressured you for the name.
Did we?
Yeah,
Oh.
limited articulation.
Okay.
Okay, so since we went on so many journeys, how would we call it? Collectibles and tangents. There and back again.
It's kind of
How about Jen? Hey, you make it up then. I don't know.
collectibles. I spelled it really wrong.
Collectibles and tangents.
And we
I like that.
took. What was it?
There and back again.
We went there or took it there.
How about we took it there? We took it there, guys. We took it there.
Took it there and came back again. I'll see if I can make it work.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll abbreviate
We'll
it,
fix it in post.
and it'll make
Oh, the
it'll make
abbreviation would be good.
it'll make no sense until you get to an
The
hour
very-
and 13 minutes into this
We'll
episode.
work on it. We'll workshop it. We'll workshop it.
We'll talk
gonna
about
do that.
my coins another time. It's
Yeah.
okay.
For the record, Alex, I like your coins,
Thanks.
and I'm kind of jealous of them, especially the enormous ones.
Your coins are hot.
The enormous one.
Yeah.
Again,
the biggest one.
from
Yeah.
our pal, Israel Skelton.
I mean, I'll sell you one if.
Yeah, I can
Israel
also
can
buy
sell you
one
one.
for-
You only has one left.
John, it's been a pleasure always.
He's tipping his hat.
I have to be
My lord,
my lord, low bone girls.
my lord.
I wish you all the best of luck on your trek, on your journey out west. I'm going to write about this in the post. This is I've been struggling with the post lately because everything that I want to say in them I already said in the episode, so I don't want to repeat myself. But I had you, and then I lost you, and then we got you back again. And then I took advantage of it. And I was like, oh, John's home. It's cool. I can see him, just cash.
Anytime.
It is what it is. And now that I'm losing you again, I just think about you don't know what you got till it's gone. But I wish you all the best. I think you got major cojones. That's a big decision. Moving out there.
Maybe we should go out on, since you've never heard it said, since you haven't watched The Lord of the Rings, I'll quote Gandalf the Grey, the wizard.
You shall not pass.
The end. No, it is all we can do is the best we can with the time that we have.
There it is. But now I'm really sad. Best of luck. Say hi to Will.
I will.
And Rob.
And Rob and Charlie. And, you'll see them all.
Yeah.
It's a small state.
Yo,
funny guy.
Go visit Bob Breedtall while we're out there, too.
I will.
Bob's out there. God damn, man. We have a lot of...
The world record holder for the biggest comic book collection.
Nice.
Bob Breed. He's a friend of ours.
He's been on
nice.
twice.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. Yeah, I guess that's going to do it. John, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Showing us some of your collection. I imagine we're going to continue talking about this after I press stop. So,
All right. Bye.
everyone's missing out.
Right now. We're not
We took it
recording
there.
anymore.
All right, I'm just going to lean into stopping this episode now.
Lean right in.
So, yeah, that's going to do it. Let's, there's a lot of vibing going on. We're popular people right now. So until next week, I have been... So remember that time when I started to say I have been JR, but I have a new laptop with a really sensitive touchpad, and I hit stop before we actually did the outro. So until next week, I have been JR.
I'm Alex.
And I'm hitting that dusty trail.
It's John, by the way. And this has been episode 272 of Opinions May Vary. God, I hope this worked. I think it worked. It must have worked. It probably worked.